Hi, it's Deanne Fitzpatrick from Deanne Fitzpatrick Studio, and we are going live on this Thursday. What's the date today? April 22nd. And I'm just going in on the water here. I'm just zooming in on the water. And we're going live on Facebook and we're going live on Instagram. Hello, Loretta Manning, you're watching. Just going to leave this here like this. Anyone else out there? And Lori Graham is watching. Hello, Lori. Thanks for watching. Kathy Cross from Dartmouth, Nova Scotia is here. And we have 52 people watching right now. That's awesome. Teresa Bogle. Hi, Teresa. Do you have people watching on Instagram too, Kaylee?
12, and it keeps going up.
Oh, that's great. Hey, Kaylee's here today because Lorna took off to Halifax, didn't she? What's she doing? Just staying in a hotel and having a nice time, or?
I think so.
Yeah, isn't that nice? Okay. And Wendy Brown's here from Parisboro, and Beverly Taylor. Betty Perush. Hello, Betty. Nice to see your name come up. Jody Madsen. Hi, Jody, and Karen Hawthorne. Well, welcome, everybody. We've got a lot of people watching now. We've got over 150. And we must have more on Facebook. Krista Taylor's here from Fredericton, New Brunswick. Suzanne Neiman is watching. Joe is going to get the phone for us. So today I have a lot that I want to show you. I'm going to get Angela to pass me over my book there, and I can tell you what we're going to be talking about today. I'm just going in on Claire Quinn from Belle Provence. Hi, Mazen. Mazen Al-Shahad is watching. And Janice Roy from BC. Beth Campbell from Perth, Ontario. So I want to talk to you about a couple of things today. First of all, I promised someone that I would talk about how I do with sand. And so we're going to work on that. I'm going to work on this sky here. There's our little lighthouse from last week. And I'm going to go over the sky with you again and how I'm going to approach that lighthouse. Glenda Meldrum is watching and Shannon Carter is watching. I'm going to talk to you about... Today I'm going to talk to you about sand, I'm going to talk about sky, and I'm going to show you hooking from underneath. And I wanted to tell you that we've announced something today. Design School is opened again. So Deanne Fitzpatrick Studio Design School. If you want to design your own hooked rugs, this is the course to take. Oh, Mary Williams is watching. This is her day off and she's watching. Well, she has 5 days off a week. It's not really that bad, is it? 4 days off a week. She only works 1 day. Oh, sorry, Mary. We don't mean to mock you. You worked 5 days a week for a long time. Hi, Linda Ehrenberg and Jennifer Brennan from Fort Lawrence. Lynn Monteleone. Hi, Deanne and Angela. I love that last name, Monteleone, isn't it? I don't know if I'm saying it right, but it sure is great. Snowy Ottawa is Sheila. And Lorna Vogel from Kitchener. And we are going to talk, we've got some big things coming up. And one of them is around mug rugs. I'm going to pass this over to Angela now. Hi, Angela.
Hi.
There you go. I'll pass this over to you. There we go. All right. So, and I'm going to show you from hooking from underneath. And I just wanted to talk about the importance of sharing the video. Last week, only a few people shared the video. And we had, at the end of the week, we had half as many viewers as we normally have. So last week I think 26 people shared. Thank you to those 26 people. The week before 56 people shared. And when you share rug hooking, you just don't know what you're sharing. You're sharing community, you're sharing tradition, you're sharing culture, you're sharing art, you're sharing fun and playfulness. So please do share. Now I'm going to get right to the sand, because this is what'll happen is I'll forget. And I have promises to keep. So this is our little, what's this package called?
Sand and rocks.
Sand and rocks. And it's a little texture package, and it comes with all these things in it, right? So, and it's on the website. So if I was doing sand, first of all, I need to think about what color her legs are. So if I'm going to make her legs kind of a pale pink, this is the woman who we drew floral. Now, if I was going to do like PEI sand, well, see, PEI sand is really tricky, isn't it?
Yeah.
We know that because it looks one color to people from PEI and it looks another color to everybody else, I think, because we can never get it right if you're from PEI, and you know what I mean if you're from PEI. If you're from PEI, this is like your home color. So this won't be quite right for you, and we understand because it's so hard to get and you're so used to looking at it. When we only see it like twice a year when we go over to get like fish and chips from from or take a bike ride around Victoria by the sea, we think it looks like this. So sand can be as simple as this. So I think that's a pretty good PEI sand color. Now, Joni Black, if you're watching, you spend a lot of time on the island, but that's pretty good, I'd say. So sand can be as simple as that, and usually I go across, because some sand is really quite flat, right? So this is a merino stream that we have, and we put a little bit of it in the package. So that's one kind of sand. Now, I'm going to take that out. You got that? So that's just simple. Some sands are one color, and you just kind of want a nice flat color. So another sand, like if you live on a sort of a gray-brown sand, you might take two colors. My scissors are missing. All right. Well, I don't even have a pair of scissors in the room, I don't think. Kaylee, did you take all my scissors?
Blame it on Greg.
Blame it on Greg. Okay, he's not here.
He hasn't got much blame
He
today.
hasn't got much blame today. That's about it. We can start right on him, though, we want to. So you could also take two colors that are really close. And I like to sort of, because sand, you know, I think of it as sand is like there's not a lot of movement, right? It's kind of...
Oh, Joni brought up a good point.
What's a good point?
It's tricky when it's wet versus when it's dry, too.
Oh, Joni, we're never going to get it now. Lord, have mercy, that's true. So now there's two colors that are so close together, but see, they're really close. Like, look at those. But, so you'll use one a little bit less than the other, and you have some lines in there. Well, I can't even tell these apart. And I'm hooking them, and I'm right here. I don't know what it'd be like on camera. Okay. So, and you just keep moving it. So that would be another kind of sand, all right? The thing you have to be careful of, this person needs to be, you know, she needs to be a good brown color or a good sort of creamy pink color, or she needs to stand out from the sand, okay? So a lot of times when I'm doing people, I just use kind of a neutral tan. Like she'd have to be either quite light or quite dark to stand out there. So there's another sand. So it's just two colors mixed together. Think I could take that out? Or leave it there for a minute? All right, now I'm going to try this one. So this is like a sand that has a lot of different colors in it. I'm going to have this whole package all messed up. Okay. So what I would do is I would go and I would make it kind of nubbly, bubbly, you know, because this has maybe this has a lot of different colors in it. Nubbly, bubbly, 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 bubbly. So it's up and down. Okay. Now I'm going to take a little piece of sari because I want like that little bit of shimmer, and I'm just going to use that in there. So Design School has launched today. It's the same course. If you already took it last year, it's still available to you. So don't register for it again if you already bought it last year. But if you didn't take it last year, I'm telling you. So now this is a variegation. I'm going to add this in here. If you didn't take it last year, if you want to learn how to design hooked rugs, this is the course for you. If you are wondering about your ideas and how to bring them to life, it's a great course. It's practical, it's sensible, it's attainable. It's full of useful information. And if you go on the website, it's there now, and I encourage you to join me. There's hours and hours of lessons. So there's just a little color in there. Now I go back. And so I'm mixing a lot and I'm blending. I'm going to go back. And let's try some of this color up here with it and see how that does.
It's such a difference from where I grew up because our beaches are quite light.
So your beaches are quite light, they're quite white.
Yeah.
So let's do that. Let's do a white sand. All right. So that can give you a sandy effect. You're moving lots of color around, okay? Now if we wanted that white sand effect, I've got some white curly locks here. Let's try that over here, Angela. And I'm hooking it kind of low. You can see that, like I'm not going really high with it. So you could just leave it just like that if you want it. But I suggested that we put some of this in here, which is a cotton slub. It's a very thin cotton slub, so I'm going to add that in. So what you want are textures, like something that's fairly heavily textured against something that's maybe not too heavily textured. So now we could take this light one here, add that in, we want it. Just a little bit of movement. And then I'm just going to try this one. This is in the package, but I don't know if there's any of that left out there, Kaylee. I don't know if there is or not. It's the wrapped sari that we had. No. And this has a little sparkle in it, which too would give that sandy effect. But you don't want the sparkle really doubled up. You kind of want it to hide. And so let's take the curly locks again.
I'm not sure about the white, but there's other colors.
There is other colors, yeah. Okay. And so there's a nice sandy effect for you. Okay? Right?
Beautiful.
Nice. Does that remind you of the beach at all?
It does.
A little bit more?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what we're after. We're after texture and interest. So there's 3 different kinds of sands. Now, of course, it's the beach, and we did the PEI sand, but that's just because we had this one merino that we had dyed in, and we asked the dyer to make it in PEI sand, and that's what they came up with. And we understand that it can be wet, it can be dry, that it changes, and that it's really hard. Like if it's the beach that you know best, you've seen it so much, it's really hard for someone else to get that color in a dye bath sometimes for you. So there's some sand packages. Want to make sure I'm covering everything. I want to mention to you that on hookingrugs.com, if you're just finding out about rug hooking, there's a free beginner class, and all you have to do is go sign up for it. There's also a free class on how to frame your hooked rugs, and all you have to do is go sign up for it, and it's free. I want to welcome a lot of the Ontario Guild members. They had their annual meeting last week, and I'm glad, I'm hoping that lots of you are here today. Our spring challenge ends the end of this week. I think it finishes on the 29th. So we have 150 entries so far, and I think the prize is a $100 gift certificate to the studio so that you can get whatever you like. So that's good. We do have Shetty Camp frames in stock. I'm going to turn this frame around.
Someone asked, why do you hook this particular area low with the white sand?
With the white sand. I wanted it low because I kind of wanted like a nice sort of, well, it was curly locks, and I didn't want the curly locks to stand out way more than everything else. So that's why I did it. So here's my Magic Sky combination. I'm going to show you what I have. I've got to get my sheet of paper here because I have a list on them. I'll be right back. All right. So this is my Magic Sky right here that I'm doing. And once I start hooking this, you guys can go underneath if you want to show from underneath. I want to show you what it looks like from underneath. I've got pens and pencils. I've got stuff everywhere here. Okay. Alrighty. So we just got a whole bunch of Sugar Bush Chill in. We don't always carry this yarn. We just carry it sometimes. So we have that in the blue, in the light blue. Then I have Big Sister Twist in Water Lily. So that's Sugar Bush. I'm organized today. Sugar Bush Chill, Big Sister Twist and Water Lily. Then I'm using the blue velvet. And I have the New Zealand Stream and the New Zealand Twist. And the reason why I have both of these, they're the same color, but they're going to be a different texture. And then I also have Stone Soup. Kaylee named that, and I love the name of it. So I am going to start with this sky. So you can see in the lighthouse is here, and even though it is in the day, I think it's important to show in the sky that there is a lighthouse in the background here. So I'm going to take, this is white 4-ply, bleached white 4-ply from Briggs & Little. And this is $8.95 a skein, folks, or $7.95 a skein. I'm not even sure what it is, but it's very reasonably priced. And I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to start with just one loop, bring it up. Then I'm going to go 2, 1, 1, 1, and then I'm going to start doing 2. 2 for a while. 2.
Sorry, Deanne, we're having a problem with the lens. How do you clean it? They're saying it's a bit cloudy.
Okay, just 1 second. I'm gonna we're gonna wipe the back of it there.
Okay.
Okay, that's probably looking really weird there, but I'm just gonna take it. Sorry about that, you guys. It's weird there. Okay, let's try that now.
Oh, that looks better.
Look at that.
Oh, wow. Thank you for that, ladies, for letting us know.
That was probably, I probably might have had oil on my hands or something, or cream or something. So now I'm going to 3 strips, 3 loops. Okay, so I want you, does anyone out there, did you take design school last year? And if you did, I would love it if you would write a comment there about how you felt about it, or what you thought about it, about design school. And remember, your access is still available for you, because once you buy design school, your access is there as long as the course is up, which will be several years at least. So there, look at that. Isn't that a beautiful shape? Now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to start with 1 loop, 1 loop, 1 loop, 1 loop. Then I'm going to 2. Then I'm going to 2. Then I'm going to 2. Then I'm going to 3.
Wow, Deanne, you look 10 years younger now that we cleaned the screen.
Okay, any comments about design school from any of you who took it last year? And are any of you planning on taking it this year? Tell us what you're thinking. Now I'm just going to follow my lines. So in design school, what I do is I teach you how to create your own patterns for hooked rugs. I give you all kinds of tips and ideas.
Karen Hawthorne, I love design school. It was so helpful and encouraging.
Good, thank you, Karen.
Jane Smith, I learned so many new ideas. Absolutely love design school. Joan Perry.
Good, great. That's what we want to hear.
Heather Best loved it. That's great.
Yeah, great. That's great. I'm glad. Thank you. And thank you for still being a part of the studio life and commenting there. I appreciate it. Because the studio has its own little life. Doesn't it, Kaylee?
It does. That's it. What about punched rugs?
What about punched rugs? We have a video online. We have 2 different videos online that you can find out about punch rugs. One is done by Angela, and it's excellent. It's had over 1,800 views or something. And then another one, it's on YouTube. And then there's another one on YouTube that both myself and Amy Oxford did, and it kind of explains the difference between them. There we go.
Yeah, I would suggest watching that one. That's the professionals at work.
Angela, you did a great job. People love that video. We have so many things that we want to do. I'm like nagging Angela. I chase her around with little pieces of paper. Do I do that to you too, Kaylee, sometimes?
No. No paper.
No paper.
I just lose everything.
Once that you forget everything.
Yeah.
Kaylee always says, let me get a piece of paper. Let me get a piece of paper. I was so excited yesterday because I was planning a free course for the summer, aren't we, Angela?
We are.
We are, and it's going to be like it's getting bigger all the time. It's about creativity, and so I'm just excited about what's coming up for it and how we're doing with it. And I'm excited about our next plan for Wild with Wool.
Oh, yes.
It's a biggie.
Yeah.
It's Joe's idea. Look at that. Okay. I got to do one more over here. How are we doing for time, Angela? What do I got?
20 after.
Oh, I got loads of time.
Did you want me to go under the...
You can go under now if you guys want. Oh. You can go under and just, okay, so now we're describing under the rug, right? So I take my strip. Okay, so my hand is like this, right? And then I go and I catch it. And see how the two hands are working together. They're not separate from each other. They're right together. And you can almost feel like my hook almost touches my thumb every time I put my hand down, okay? Every time I put my hook down, my hook is touching my thumb. That's important, I think.
Oh yeah, I can see it coming down there.
Can you see it? You guys have hooked a few rugs. Have you hooked 2, Kaylee? Or 3?
I think 3, because I made a couple little ones. But
Yeah.
I don't really count those.
Maybe a bit slower?
A bit slower. Okay, we'll do a bit slower. All right, so I'm going to get into my Magic Sky combination here now. So I'm going to put that white away, and I'm going to open my New Zealand stream. My New Zealand twist. And I will do some of that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm holding it in my hands like this. I'm going to put my hook down and I'm going to go right to my little lighthouse. And I'm going to pull up my twist. I'm just going to do it a little bit slower. So you see the hand, the thumb moving along. All right, so I'm going to get you to come up to the top. And I'm going to open up all of these yarns. So I have my New Zealand twist opened. I'm going to open up my stone soup because I have to have all these ready. This is like my own, I make mixes for myself all the time. So this is a beautiful sky mix, all right? And sometimes we make these for you. Now this is New Zealand stream, so it will give me a slightly different look than the New Zealand twist. I'm going to put those both together. And then this is my Big Sister twist, which is a yarn that has quite a sheen to it. And it has a little bit of other colors in it. And you can see how those other colors are going to pick up. So I'm going to lay that all out. And I'm just going to take a bit of blue velvet. I think that's too long a piece of velvet. I'm just going to cut that in half again. We have lots of velvet in stock, Kaylee?
Yes.
Yeah.
I just put the rest of it in yesterday.
Okay, great. So I'm just going to take that. I think this is a 2-inch ribbon or 3-inch ribbon, I'm not sure. And I'm going to get 1, 2. I'm going to get 5 strips out of there. And then I'm going to take this. This is my chill. Now with a chill, it's in a ball. I don't love yarns in a ball as much just because they roll around a bit. But I'm just going to try and, there's my end. If you dig in the center, sometimes you can get there it is. So then rather than unwinding the ball all the time, I just can pull from the center. So what I do is I usually just pull myself a couple of strips. So we have the New Zealand twist in there. I'm going to add the chill. You can see I'm blending these colors really nicely, like I'm digging into where the stream is. Right there like that. I'm going to clip this. I'm going to take it and I'm going to put it up on the other side. And then down into the loop. And what I'm doing now is I'm kind of like, these are kind of like almost like streams of light, even though the light is not really on in the day. I kind of want to get the effect of a lighthouse.
Someone's asking, how do you keep your rug from crowding?
From crowding? I just try to skip lots of holes. That's, like just watch. So I'm crowding here now because I'm in between two little places, right? But as I move out of that place, I just start to skip more holes and I loosen up a bit.
Deanne, I have a lady that is having an issue with pulling up her loop. She's not getting the full strand. She's just getting a piece of it.
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
What can you do?
Well, she needs to practice a lot. That's one thing. Just keep practicing. But when you saw when I had my hand underneath there, one of the things that I'm doing is I'm almost pushing up the yarn. And the other thing that I'm doing is I'm not catching the yarn like this, because that will split the wool. I try to catch the yarn like this. So I'm trying to catch, just watch, I'm trying to catch the edge of the yarn. So when I come up, it's like this. It's not like this, because that will split it. Okay, let's do that again. When I come up, you see I'm catching the edge of my yarn, right? So the yarn is on the shaft of the hook, as opposed to going like this. And then I'm only pulling up a piece of the yarn. So let's do it here. If I go like this, I'm catching the edge of the yarn. If I go like this, I'm splitting the yarn, and it's harder to pull. So that's it. That's all I got to tell you about that. Now I'm going to go over what we learned today. We talked about sand, and we talked about different colors of sand and how the sand you know best is going to be the hardest one to get the color off. Because when you know the color in your head, this is wool. It's not sand. So we talked about this not really being like PEI sand because we know that and it's in our head. And whenever we're taking a different fiber, it's hard to get this to really look the way the sand actually is. So we talked about 3 different kinds of sand and the PEI sand, and we talked about how you can just take 2 colors that are really close together, or you can mix a lot of colors, or we talked about a white sand beach and about if you're using really textured yarns, you might want to hold them a bit lower. The other thing we talked about today was, just got to open my book so that I'll remember what we talked about today. We talked about the 150 entries for the spring challenge. There's going to be a $100 gift certificate draw on Wild with Wool, and Kathy's going to do that this week. It's a random draw. We talked about hooking from underneath and the importance of sort of making your hands work together, and so that when you're pulling up the yarn, you're catching it, and we talked about the importance of catching it on the side rather than in the middle and kind of splitting it. We also talked about the importance of sharing the video because honest to goodness, when you share rug hooking with somebody, you just don't know what you're sharing with them. You're sharing, you're sharing kindness and you're sharing a new skill, but it also lets them connect to themselves. It lets them connect to their community. It can, mean all kinds of real healthy, good relationships and a real healthy, good meditative craft for somebody. And what else did we do? Oh, I talked about signing up for my newsletter if you want to, and that there are 2 free courses on the website. It's How to Hook Rugs, and it's a beginner class on how to hook rugs and how to frame rugs. And those are 2 free classes. And Angela and I are working on some new things that will also be free on the website. Our Caribou class, our Zoom class last Saturday, like at first I thought 5-hour Zoom class, what have we done? But it went by really fast. We had about just around 50 people, I think, took it. And everybody designed their own rug. We gave you a pattern if you wanted it, but many people were designing their own. And we just had a really good time, didn't we, Angela?
It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. We had lots of bio breaks, and we had lots of breaks like for, we had a lunch break, and we had lots of breaks where people would go into breakout rooms and hook with other people, and it was really interesting. So I'm just going to go out here, and I just want to say thank you. Over the last year, you guys have showed up here so often, and I'm so grateful, and people are showing up on Instagram, and we're very thankful. Last week, over 2,000 people watched this video on Instagram, so please do share it in any way that you can. If you can share it in your stories on Instagram, or share it on Facebook, really makes a difference to us. Thank you so much for being with me. And I don't think it's fair to leave without putting a little bit of this stone soup in here, because we talked about it so much, and it's such a great, and see how that, I just want to show you how this sky mix is really working. Isn't it great? My friend used to say she thinks she's all that in a bag of chips. And that's what I feel like now. I feel like I'm all that in a bag of chips. Because all of this is kind of working out. You know, I've hardly had a chip since COVID started. I know.
I'd say the same.
I know. I knew it was going to be bad if I had chips around. Chips get a bad rap, don't they, Kaylee?
Depending. I like banana chips. There's all different kinds of them.
Well, yeah, that's true.
It's not just potato chips.
You have a lot of discipline. I don't.
You've been eating chips, Angela?
I can't not help eat chips. If they're in the house, they sing to me. They call from the cupboards. Eat me.
I'm like that with sweets. Like if there's a carrot cake in the fridge, it's like, hey, Deanne, come get me. I want, come on, I'm there. Cream cheese icing. Don't forget me. Okay, that's it for this week, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all your orders. Please join Design School if you haven't. I know a lot of you are still taking Color School, and I hope that you're loving it as much as we loved putting it together. See ya. Have fun.
One more thing, Deanne. Where'd you get your blouse?
Oh, 30 Church Women's Clothing. I just got it, too. They probably still have some over there. Only in Amherst. Only in Amherst. But they have an online store. So they ship everywhere.
It looks like watercolor.
It's pretty, isn't it?
It is nice.
I did the French tuck, too. Did you ever do the, Robert said to me, the French tuck is just like when you're tucking it in the front. I don't know. Probably the French don't do it. But anyway, it's probably only these crazy Nova Scotians. But I was going down the road the other day, and Robert, my husband, said to me, who dresses like just really quite impeccably, really. He has a menswear store. He said, well, your shirt's all out. Your shirt's half tucked in. He said, like, did you just use the bathroom or something? But anyway, I said, no, it's the French tuck. Okay, you guys, we got to go. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.